Hi, my name is James Abroad.
And my name is Kate Abroad.
And we are the failed couple.
Yes.
Why are we the failed couple?
We're not. You just wanted to dash your intro.
Well, no. I guess in my mind, I was like thinking,
why are we a failed couple? We're not a failed.
I'll get to that.
It was good 6 years.
No, it's a good 6 years. 7 years.
6 years.
Or 6.5. Welcome to the Failed Podcast. Today is our Valentine's Day edition.
Yeah, happy Valentine's Day.
And I have a special guest with me.
My shoe.
Very special guest, which is my wife, Kate Abroad. Yay! Clap, 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 clap. And today we are wearing, I was supposed to wear Jordan 4s because it's the 4th episode, but we wanted to match.
Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, wearing the social status Strawberry Milk Dunks, highly underrated. She's wearing the social status
really
chocolate
nice
milk
shoes.
Dunks. I don't know what
So
that
pretty.
has to do with
Valentine?
no,
Chocolate. Oh.
the Failed Podcast and about life or shoes. Well, we do it.
I do. I know.
Okay.
This morning, I woke up for some shoes. Failed.
That's so true.
I got an L.
For those of you that are into shoes, you know that being into shoes is a life filled with failure.
So sad. And you
It
have to
really
wake up
is.
so early.
Yeah, you have to wake up like 7 a.m.
For
just to-
nothing. Just pending
You'll win like once a year.
for 30 minutes.
You'll win once in a blue moon. And it wasn't even the sneakers app. For those of you who like shoes, it's not even the sneakers app. It was the Nike app, which is so crazy
so
we
bad.
didn't win that. Well, anyways,
Yeah.
welcome to the Failed Podcast. This is my wife, and it's the Valentine's Day edition. So honestly, she's not a failure. I'm just kidding. No one I interviewed is a failure.
I am.
We met, she was in, I was gonna say she was in 12th grade. She was 12, and I was 15. We're not saying grades because it sounds crazier or weird if it was grades.
4 years apart in grades, but 3 years apart in age. I
Yes.
started school late. That's it.
Yeah, she was 12, I was 15. So we're kind of like high school sweethearts.
Middle school.
And we started dating. And then in
That's
college.
years later, though. Yeah.
Is it?
Well, yeah.
Was it though? No.
Mom?
What? What? No, we started dating and then, we got engaged and then we got married.
Yeah, and it's been almost 7 years now.
Almost 7 years now.
But we've known each other for...
Or is it 7
it's
years?
us.
Technically, it's only been 2. It's only been 2 years. Should we tell them about how we have been married 4 times? 3 times.
Sure, but...
Is it 3 or 4?
But I thought your dad doesn't...
He kind of does.
Oh, okay.
He doesn't listen. He supports. He's like, man, I'll click the watch, and I'm not
Shout
watching.
out.
If you are watching,
All of
Pa,
you watched,
comment
not
down
me.
below. I'm going to test this.
Are we
Pa,
supposed to look at the camera, too?
Sometimes. Pa, if you're watching, comment down below, because I kind of don't think he is. I don't think he does. He's just like, I'm proud of my son.
He's busy in the Philippines.
He's very
doing
busy in the
missionary
Philippines.
work, okay?
Exactly. But, so we got married in 2015.
Yeah, 2015.
2015 and June 12th. And it was a wonderful wedding. We had like the reception and everything. And then it was cool. It was actually a dream wedding. I thought it was a dream wedding.
Yeah.
I got to wear some sneakers, like, I think it was an awesome wedding. To me, it's still my favorite wedding. It's not even being biased. Like I really thought it was my favorite wedding. Even the fact that we had a reception in a garden was like, so like, dun, 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 dun.
Yeah.
Like, it was like that. But then I guess we just forgot to send in the papers. It was a miscommunication and the papers weren't sent.
Yep.
So we weren't married. So the next year we attempted to get married again. And then
Which we did. We did
get
a wedding.
married in a chapel.
Yeah.
With like a photographer and everything, which was shout out to Christine.
My sister.
Her sister, aka my sister-in-law. And we forgot to send the papers again.
Yep. Second time.
And then we officially got married in my office.
On a Saturday.
My brother officiated it, and JB, shout out, was my best man.
Yeah.
So, hey, that's it. Failed marriage. We failed getting married multiple times. So we're the failed couple.
Okay.
But yeah, it's been a wonderful 7 years of marriage, and I love that.
Yeah.
And I love you. Oh, public.
We say that all the time.
But as we're talking about marriage and we're talking about Valentine's Day special, and shout out to all you lovely couples out there. We should just make this into a playlist. Let's have some music. Yeah. Shout out to lovely couples out there.
Hey, who are you calling for tonight?
Hey, you.
Well, thank you so much, Helena.
You. Welcome to the smooth
We'll
jam.
go ahead and play Britney's Toxic for you.
Smooth jam. Why toxic? That's not Valentine. It's got to be like
That's
a
what
Valentine
Helena
song.
chose. So.
Who's Helena?
Just Helena, the one who called in.
Okay. Anyway, so we have some questions prepared for each other, but I guess for me, because this is the theme of this is the failed podcast Valentine's Day edition. And by the way, I want to thank my wife for doing this. We're actually filming this on Valentine's Day. So this is Valentine's Day.
For you guys.
For you, for the viewers, for you 106 subscribers. I love you all.
You're the real ones.
Happy Valentine's Day to all my subscribers. Shout out.
Hey.
Shout out. Shout out.
Shout out.
Shout out.
Shut out.
Careful how you say that. But it's close.
No.
Anyways, question. So we're talking about failures. Do you think as a spouse, and you could ask me this question too,
Okay.
were there ever moments in your life where you feel like you failed as a wife? Never. I'm perfect.
No way. Well, how about I ask you first?
Oh gosh.
No, how about I
Fine,
ask you
I'll
first?
answer it first. Go ahead. What was your question?
What was the question? Has there ever been a time you felt like you failed me
As a husband?
as a husband?
Yes, multiple times. I feel like I failed as a husband before. Many times, not really. I guess in a sense, a lot of it is more external than it is internal. I feel like internally I try my best to love you, and you know that, to show affection to you. But I think like externally, I feel like sometimes as a husband, I feel like I failed you multiple times because of the fact that like there were times before where we both knew we wanted to move from our old apartment, and I couldn't. Like, I'm the type of person that like I want to do it right then and there. Like if you say something, it kills me inside that I couldn't do it right then and there. Like, if you told me I want to move, I want to be like, fine, pack your bags, we're moving. Or at least looking for an apartment already, or looking for a better place.
Can I have a dress? I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Kidding.
Go ahead. No.
I'm kidding.
But, so I think that's where I felt like I failed as a husband. And
When you don't take action right away, that's something that
that's
I
just
say.
how I am. I like to take action right away, especially when it comes to the people I love, for
Yeah.
you. And it's just hard for me. It kills me inside that like, man, I couldn't do that. Or like sometimes you'd wish like, oh, I wish we could go somewhere. She's not spoiled at all. Okay. But like, oh, I wish we could go to like, Universal Studios next week or something, because there's a day off and I can't financially, because it's just like, we don't have the money. So it kills me inside to like, I can't. But even as far as failing as a husband, I feel like I failed you as a husband. Really it took me a while to, I feel like, put you in a better situation. And what's cool about this is she didn't really make me feel like a failure. She's been supportive
Because
to me.
it didn't feel like we were like in a bad. We always talk about that too.
Yeah.
And yeah, I really mean it when I say that. Like, it didn't feel like we were struggling or in a bad situation.
I know. It was, and then we together, we laugh at it. But to be honest, there were nights where I'll be like, dang, why the heck can't I buy her a fridge?
I mean, I'm sure you had that pressure because you're the husband.
Yeah, so. And like, man, like it eats me up. Like, man, why are we eating Dollar Tree stuff? Like at that time. But we laugh at it.
Because I found out later on in our marriage that like you just be in the shower for so long just because you're thinking about like money. Remember, like, and you told me later on that like you're just there because like you're thinking about like, oh, are we, where am I gonna get this?
Yeah,
pay
and
for
the
that.
sleepless nights, and really, it's funny because you know this. I'm the type of person. That's why I look back and talk about like failures or the struggle and be like, oh man, I don't really, like to me it was funny. But I think you made it so much easier for me because a lot of times when I felt like a failure, you were also like, this is fun for you too.
Well, I got that from you actually.
I'm glad actually.
Yeah. Well, it's so weird. I guess we just like rubbing off of each other. No,
that's
I
good.
learned how to be more like chill and relaxed about situations in life because of you.
Yeah, because you know me. Like I've told you this multiple times. I'm like, dude, if I can just,
You know,
like-
I'm the type to panic.
yeah,
Yeah, you. No, like how, whatever I am now, like however I am.
yeah.
That's because I got it from you.
Well, I mean, like that's why, like I felt like a failure sometimes before, though, just to explain myself. And I'm glad you said that. But like, I feel like before, I remember I always tell you this, that I'm the type of guy that like the struggle is so fun for me that I could seriously like live in a van.
He always says that.
Like, dude, I just want to live in a van. I
He wants
still
to live
do.
in an island for some reason.
Or like live in a van. That would be so fun to live in a van and like just own a van that's like has all these things and we just like travel. I like that a lot. Like that's me. The only thing I'm worried about is safety. Like I just get scared. Like, dang, what if somebody tries to knock and like, hey, it's our van now, sucker. But I think that's because I've been living in the hood too long. But that's usually me, so that's why I never. And I said that in the last episode that like I don't really find the struggle that hard, and I just find it to be funny because it's like, oh, there's everybody got to start somewhere. But what eats me up is like when I can't provide for you. But I'm so glad that you make it easier for me, And I think, I guess, segueing to a topic of like marriage and a wonderful marriage, I think a lot of married couples they need to make it easier for each other. And I think they need to take an example from you for like, and wives, I don't know who's listening, but if you're a wife, understand that sometimes your husband puts more pressure on themselves than you will ever put.
Yeah.
And you got to read that. And it's like, man, imagine just making it harder. Like they know, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like people need to know that. Like, dude, we know if we're failing at something sometimes.
Yeah.
And husbands, I hope you do know. know, I guess it's a two-way street. I don't know where I'm getting into, but yeah. So that was me. How about you?
Me? Like,
Yeah.
I've ever. Man, that's a tough question. Mine, I guess, is this is more like in the past. I don't think I think I've worked on it already.
Yeah, I mean, when I say I failed,
but-
I feel like it's not now.
Yeah, so I guess there was a time. I guess the times I felt like I failed you was when I would, like, in a way, make you choose between me,
Oh, I know what it is.
me, and your family or like friends, because of just like things that happened in the past.
And you're amazing for actually, because I don't feel that anymore. I don't feel that at all. Like, we're about to shoot a podcast in 2 weeks in Santa Clara, and we're actually going there. So, like,
But I'm talking about like these were like special people in your life. Like you've had them in your life for a long time, like before you even met me. I guess that's the time when I feel like looking back now, like that wasn't right. And you were, of course, like you were my
This is crazy.
boyfriend or like, at that time, and you would always choose me. But I know it was hard on you. I think that's the time when I feel like I failed you as like your partner. Because as your partner, I feel like that should never be the case. Like you should never put your husband or wife like in a spot where they have to choose between you or his or her family.
And you know
or
I would
his or
always
her
choose
friend.
you know I would always choose you. And you know that.
Definitely. But I think that's why, like, that wasn't cool. Like, as the partner, like your girlfriend or wife, like, I should learn to, love the people that you love and be with them as well. Not that like this is not like going on right now. I don't hate anybody in his life, by the way.
Yeah.
This is just like past, like a long time ago.
Yeah. Which I think is cool because like I know for a fact that like you're such an introvert. My wife is an introvert. That's why I'm so happy she's here right now in front of the camera. There's no camera, baby. But my wife is such an introvert. My wife is such an introvert that like, for me, it's just so amazing that she did work on that. And a lot of it isn't even the fact that like you don't like them. It's more of just like you're such an introvert that you're like,
it's hard. I'm so awkward. Like,
I'm an extrovert.
Goodness, like I just can't be. It's just hard. Yeah.
I feel like she's an introvert turning into an extrovert because of me.
No.
And I'm an extrovert.
No. There's not an ounce of extrovert in me at all.
I'm such an extrovert, dude. Like when I see a crowd of people.
But I could say that about you. You're an extrovert, and then introvert is starting to creep into you.
It is starting to creep into me.
But I feel like you didn't really get that from me necessarily. Like you just got it from like, yeah.
It came from like mental struggles.
Yeah, from stuff. Which is in the other podcast.
It came from
Another
betrayal.
episode.
Shout out to my last podcast.
Yeah,
No, I was kidding. That's when I became an introvert.
Yeah.
But that's awesome. That's actually really, I'm not saying it's awesome, but what I like about you and our relationship is, you know, you never really stop growing. And I think that's both of us. We had this mindset that, you know, and to us, I think we're a perfect couple. Ooh. That's a lot to say. But I think it's because we know we're not perfect. Ooh, that's deep. I think we're a perfect couple because we know we're not perfect. Because when you think you're perfect, you will no longer strive to be perfect. And I think with us, why I love our marriage so much is we're both constantly trying to improve for each other. Like, I know this for a fact. When I tell her to do something, and I'm not like, do this, but like, you know, I kind of like, oh, maybe, you know, I try to dance around it. That's just how I am.
He's really nice about it.
But when I finally say it, she actually does make those changes. And it's not even for me. Sometimes they're mainly for you. And she does do that. And I hope that I'm trying my best to do that too. And I hope that I actually show that I am doing that. And that's why I think we are just for me, a perfect couple, because we know we're not perfect. We know we're flawed people. We know that just, you know, any year now, this could fall apart if we don't continue working at it. And I think that's for a lot of married couples. This is a Valentine's Day episode. Why a lot of married couples fail is because they just stop working at it. You know, it's like working out. You know, those bodybuilders don't stop building their bodies. They can have the perfect body, but that body will only be perfect if you continue working out. You know what I mean? I guess I'm the wrong person to talk about working out, but no, but I do try to work out.
Yeah.
And you know how it is. And that's why a lot of married couples, it's so hard for them to work on their marriage because they haven't been working on it. It's like getting back to working out.
Bro.
What advice do you give women or wives?
In a relationship?
Let's say relationship. Let's do young adults. Let's do young adults in a relationship. What advice do you want to give them? Like, what do you think?
I think number one, I mean, aside from like the whole, you know, of course you God-fearing and all that, but like I really think our relationship is so good because of communication. Oof. Communication. And it's funny because I always hear that before when I was younger. They're like, communication is key. Dude, it's so true. That's so true. It saves you from so many like just, you know, like confusion between each other or like
just take note, Korean dramas. Just
like if you
Korean zombie shows.
You know, like if there's no communication, how will the other person know? Like really, they're not mind readers. They're not gonna know if something's bothering you or if like it's okay to. I feel like a lot of people are scared to let the other person know about
how they feel.
Something that like, hey, you know, is it okay if you like, you know, like they're not asking them to change, but they're just kind of like trying to help them and telling them that like for them to become better.
It's
Get what I'm trying to say? I don't know if I said that properly.
I get what you're saying. It's interesting you say that. I feel like too is I guess there's a give and take. So the communication, yes, but I guess to the other side, which is for the men, you should learn to accept that correctly and respond correctly.
Yeah.
I feel like so many people, they try to communicate.
It's not a one-way thing.
No.
And then the other person snaps back. No.
Exactly.
Which
like
is
they always,
that's an issue.
Yeah. Like they always blame the women for like, oh, you don't communicate. Well, do you respond correctly when they communicate? Like, are you actually
that can
nice?
really discourage the person to.
Yeah.
They're not even gonna want to talk to you about anything anymore. Just in general, like even just normal conversations.
Yeah, and she does
Like that's
correct
gonna
me.
turn them off so badly.
Exactly, and she does correct me. And also, it's if you don't, there's two ways you could respond. Just you can. There's two ways that many people respond. Is the guy responds harshly, where they're mean, or they respond with just tuning you out and they don't even change.
Yeah.
And I think that is a problem too.
Oh yeah.
So communication is key, but also your response to communication is key. Because if you don't respond correctly, I mean, why would we want to communicate?
Yeah.
You know, if you ain't gonna do it, it's like me. Like I speak to young people all the time. Sometimes I just kind of give up. If they don't want to listen, they're getting mad at me if I correct them. It's like, dude, I'm looking out for you. Or they just don't do it. It's like, forget it. I'm not gonna say anymore.
Yeah. But again, I guess on top of that, if you are communicating, make sure you do it in the most loving, genuine, you're looking out for them kind
Not
of way.
nitpicking.
Yeah, not like you just nitpicking and everything. No, not in a naggy way. No, like there's a way you could relay your message
And
to
she
your
does a
partner
good job at that, honestly.
without being so harsh and like, judgmental.
Yeah, and she does a good job at that.
All of those go hand in hand. So communication, but the person
Has to respond.
properly.
But there's also over communicating.
But then there's also how you communicate.
And nitpicky. Yeah.
So is there something that we've gone through as a couple that you wish you never experienced? Like you wish you've never gone through? I mean, have we ever gone through anything like as a couple? It's together, not like just
as a couple.
Because since this is a relationship, special.
Motel 6.
Oh my gosh. Well, you've never gone through that again, so.
It's funny. It's hard to say that because you and I, like, I don't have
Yeah, I just needed something to ask. I'm just kidding.
No, like, I don't want to, like, okay, like, let's say COVID. I felt like we got closer through COVID. And there are some things.
Do you wish you've never gone through it then? Because
really.
That's the question. Is do you have anything that?
Well, that's the thing. It's like not really like COVID.
I agree.
Like
I always and we always talk about how like actually getting COVID together was such a huge blessing.
Yeah. So the first time COVID happened, the quarantine. I've already talked about that in the last podcast.
To us, a blessing to us,
right.
By the way. Not
yeah. So the first time we had COVID, or not we had COVID, but the quarantine happened. I talked about it in the last podcast. I was such in a bad spot mentally that it was kind of a blessing for me personally to just not see anybody. But the thing is, like, at that time, we got closer to each other. We really did because, I mean, what did we do? We couldn't go out. We couldn't see anybody.
Yeah.
So we got closer to each other. But also, like, when we had COVID, you and I, number one, it was a blessing because we both had it together. By the way, we had COVID twice already, and we had it together both times.
Yeah.
Which is awesome.
Yeah.
But the first time we had COVID, the reason why I say that I don't want to take that back is because that's what led us to our new apartment. I'll tell you guys the story. So what happened was we were living in the ghettos. This is April of last year. And I got COVID. So I got COVID. And in our church, so my dad's a pastor, and in our church, I was like the second person to have COVID.
Mm-hmm. Second, were you first?
I was second because Brother Bumatad had it.
Oh, right,
like
right.
early on.
Yeah.
Jack's dad did some last podcast, but he had it like way early.
Yep.
And then, like no one had it for a while, and then I got it. Mm-hmm. So it's like, dude, scary. like, man, the mental state of like, dude, you don't know COVID yet. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
So I'm like, dude, and like, if you guys don't know, I sleep with a breathing machine. So I have breathing problems, and COVID attacks your respiratory system. So I'm over here like, dude, I'm scared. And then, you know, day one, I was alone.
Yeah.
Like first night, I was all alone.
Yeah.
And then second day, I find out my dad got COVID. And my dad actually, I mean, it's amazing because he prayed. He prayed and said, Lord,
Somehow
I don't
he
want
could
my
be
son
with you.
alone.
Yeah.
I want to be there for my son. And then God gave him COVID.
Yeah.
So he joined
Here's
me in
the way.
the apartment. So this is how we got the new apartment. My dad goes to the new apartment. And the thing was, I don't know, I was just so, like, I guess I was in a state of contentment that when we were at that apartment, it didn't seem that bad. Looking back now, it's terrible.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah.
But like in our apartment, I didn't realize it. But like our old apartment, like it's so ghetto. I mean, like I'm telling you guys this right now. So it's in Harbor City.
Donuts.
And then I never told this to my wife, but literally the street like next to us was a gang street, and there was always shooting. And then she always goes, "Is that fireworks or shooting? It's shooting."
Bro,
And then
the lies. What else? Oh,
I
here's the
protected
next
you.
question. What else have you lied about?
I was protecting you. And then the street where I lived, there was a guy who, it was kind of like near an alleyway. So a guy just parked there and just decides he lives there now.
Yeah. He's still there.
He's
to
still
this
there.
day, yeah.
And then every morning he screams about how his breakfast order was wrong from his friend named Peter.
Peter. Hey,
Peter doesn't exist.
There's, I don't know. There's no Peter. We've never seen
I've
another.
never seen a
yeah.
Peter. He's just screaming, Peter! And there's no Peter. And then every night there's a couple arguing.
Yeah.
And it cracks me up because it's always like, it's a dude in a bike. And then the girl's like, he's hurting me. He's choking me. But then the dude, you can see it because I look. He's not doing anything to her. But because she's screaming about how she's getting hurt, that's scaring the guy because he could be wrongfully accused. So he's like, shut up. I ain't doing nothing. Oh my gosh, he's hurting me. It was like almost every night. And then, I mean, like, dude, it was ghetto. We had so the sun was not hitting our apartment for some weird reason. It was parallel to us, so it never hit us. So we never got sunlight. There was one tree that we would look at. There was a screen, so like we couldn't even get real fresh air. We would,
Oh my gosh.
through the
And it was
screen.
dusty.
It was technically it was technically a studio.
Yeah.
It's a one bedroom, but it's a studio because there's no door between
The
the bedroom
living room.
and the living room.
Yeah.
And then the restroom had mold. So there were like flies growing in the restroom.
Boy.
actually.
Oh man. Now looking back.
So like,
now when we look back, I'm like, dude, how did we live there
Yo,
for 6
for real,
years?
how?
But anyway.
so we were living there and we were content, but my dad came in and so he's in COVID.
He's fancy.
And then he was like, man, I can't live here. He just like,
After like a day.
after
Or like
a day,
one
he
night or
wanted to
something.
leave my place. And then he said, because I talked about my mental struggle. He said, I get it. You can't live here. I'm going to help you find a new apartment. You can't live here. And then, I'm working on, I'm just be transparent. I'm working on my credit and everything. So he's like, nope, I'm going to help you get a new apartment. My dad has immaculate credit and all that stuff. So he's all like, nope, oh. He's not watching. He got hacked.
Bro.
I'm just kidding. But he was like, I'm going to get you out of this apartment and you can't live here. I was like, okay. And then I didn't know how serious he was when he said, I'm going to get you out of this apartment. I'm just lying down in bed and I get like 5 or 6 text messages from my dad. Different apartments. I was like, what the ghetto? He's like, hey, we should go visit here tomorrow, or when we're done COVID, we should go visit here. You should call these people. You should do this and do that. I was like, oh, snap, he's serious. And this is how I knew he was really serious. He was eating something and he kept spitting on my carpet. I was like, wow, what are you doing? He's like, you're moving anyways. You're getting out of this dump. I was like, what are you doing? I'll still live here. Like, you just spit everywhere. Your COVID spit. You're just spitting everywhere. And like, he lasted in my place for like 2 hours. Like it
2
didn't
days and booked it.
He didn't finish the quarantine period.
No.
I
See,
mean,
now
he
you're
did.
gonna get your dad in trouble. He quarantined in his own house.
In his own house.
He didn't go anywhere else.
He didn't go anywhere else. He
Just
just
his house.
couldn't last in my place anymore.
This guy.
He quarantined in his house. But it was just cracking me up because, like, dude, like, and he was sold. And then that was April. No, that was March of last year.
Yep.
We moved here April of last year.
No, didn't we get COVID April? We got COVID April.
Oh, we got COVID April. We moved here May of last year.
Yeah.
Yeah. So April of last year, we had COVID. May, it happened. We moved. And our place is so much nicer. I'm not going to say where it is, but it's literally labeled a luxury apartment. So it's like, dude, like, it was a big upgrade.
Pastor, we're having a hard time here.
We need a 2-bedroom. I mean, we do need a 2-bedroom. You know, we gotta have our studio. We're shooting in my living room. Yeah, we want to have a studio. So, but yeah, so I couldn't really say that's a hard time. I don't know
So
what
do you
hardship.
have any? Not all?
I'm seriously trying to think. Like, I really can't think of one thing where, like,
Me neither. And even if something did happen,
as a couple, you said.
yeah. And even if something did happen, I've forgotten about it already.
Yeah.
And I guess obviously it's not that big of a deal if I can't even. I mean, I do have short-term memory loss, but
No,
like
you don't.
I forget things easily. But
Okay, I mean, okay. If I could be very picky, and I think
yeah,
it's the whole what you said, the whole like I had to choose type of thing. I did feel that a lot of times because I would go to things by myself.
Yeah.
Sometimes, but I don't know. It didn't.
I feel bad by the way when I would do
I
that.
know. But the thing is, it's so good now. I don't really feel that. Like I don't know. I don't know. At the end of the day, I like hanging out with you, so more than
Thanks.
anyone. So you're my best friend.
What are some red flags young people should be aware of in relationships? I
Oh,
guess?
this is a real one.
Yeah, somebody turned this question in.
Oh, snap. Okay.
Yeah.
What are some red flags that young people should be aware of in a relationship? So I talk about this with some young people. I said, as people, we are, I'm a Christian and I believe that, the Bible says we're made in the image of God. And God, we have God Father, God the Son, God the Holy Spirit. There's 3. Much like God, we're made in 3. There's the mental, there's the physical. So body, soul, spirit, right? So there's the body, there's the soul, and body, soul, I guess
Mind.
spirit, me, and mind. Body, soul, and mind, right? So what I'm saying here is somebody could be bad for you physically, but good for you spiritually. What I mean by that is somebody could be influencing you to read your Bible every day. That's a good influence, serve God, do the right thing. That's a good influence spiritually. But then you're trying to lose weight because you're like way overweight and your doctor said you're obese and he won't help you at all.
Oh, then I'm sorry. I'm not.
No, but that's like, oh, we should always eat. And it's like, oh man, let's eat out. And it's like, dude, man, like I'm trying to lose weight. Let's eat out. Like Monsters Inc.
Okay,
Like Monsters Inc. Like, suck me like a dog. That's what goes through my mind.
Anyways.
Anyways,
sorry.
So, if you have a friend, like, let's say, like, they could be bad for you, they could be good for you spiritually, but they could be bad for you physically. Like, that's legitimately true.
Yeah.
Same thing that somebody could be good for you physically, ask you to work out, all that stuff. They could be bad for you spiritually. But there's the thing, what we forget is there's that mental. Somebody could be good for you physically and spiritually, but bad for you mentally. Somebody could be good for you physically and mentally, but bad for you spiritually. What I'm trying to say is the red flags should be making sure that all those are good for you, whether there be spiritual, physical, and mental. That should be good for you in order for your relationship to be successful. Because a lot of young people, and for those of you that are listening, you're a young person. Someone once said, if you're not dating to get married, you're dating to break up. Because that's the only 2 futures you got with that person. So it's funny to me how they're like, people be like, oh, I'm dating. But I don't need to look for all 3 of those. It's not like we're getting married. So you're planning to break up with her. Or you're planning to break up with him. Like, what are you trying to do? You know, can you see yourself with this person, or is this just a fling? Are you just dating? Are you more so are you just dating because
So basically, when you're with a person, you have to grow spiritually, mentally,
and physically.
Physically,
They need to be good for you spiritually, physically, and mentally. And also, my other advice for young people, I guess red flags is that person or you? It's not always the other person. It's also you. Self-examination. Are you in love with the person, or are you in love with the thought of that person? Meaning, you created with this person, or the relationship. You know, you're in love with the fact that you could say you have a boyfriend or you have a girlfriend, but you're not really in love with that person. Or you're in love with this idea that you thought the person would be, but that's not really how the person is.
Yeah.
So you're in love with the thought of the person, but that person ain't like that at all. You know, like it's just like, you know, like Pascal Siakam. We thought he was going to be an all-star, but he's not.
You know what's so weird about that name?
What?
Pascal Siakam.
Why?
I kept thinking of that name yesterday. For some reason, it was stuck in my head. Just over and over, that name over
Shout
and over.
out to Pascal Siakam, big fan of the show.
And I meant to ask you, baby, Pascal Siakam, that's been stuck in my head. Who's he? I mean, I know he's a basketball player.
He's a forward in the Toronto Raptors.
Yeah, but I don't know why. And it's so weird. You said it right now. It's so weird. Okay, anyway.
Subliminal message. I got it stuck in her head. Okay, what else are the questions?
Oh, there's a follow-up in that.
Oh, follow-up.
And so, what are some red flags young people should be aware of? Follow-up is, and what are some brownie points?
Brownie points for guys or girls?
I guess one for guy and then for girls. I don't know.
One for guys? I mean, you should answer the brownie points for girls.
Okay, true.
Yeah,
I guess.
What is a brownie point
that a guy does that
a
a girl would like?
You answer first. I've been talking a lot.
I mean, like, aren't they just obvious stuff? Like, gentleman.
No. We're talking to guys here.
He's a gentleman.
Okay, let me ask you the whole gentleman.
Okay, fine. Funny.
The whole gentleman thing. So you mean a simp?
Oh yeah, I love simp. I'm in love with a simp. Whatever, call them gentleman simp. Whatever, they're awesome. Okay, that's what you want in the end, anyway.
Yeah,
that's who you want to get married.
That's so stupid, man.
I don't even know why that's a bad. There's a bad connotation to that. Like why you use it to make fun of somebody.
Shout out to Sehun.
What's the question? What's happening?
Oh, I mean, what's a brownie point?
Okay, for me personally, I don't know why, but ever since I was young, like I'm talking about like young, I always wanted somebody funny. That is a brownie point.
Comment down below brownies if you want brownies from me.
Boy, you didn't even give the cookies.
I'm about to. Why you guys talking like that? Girl, I was busy, man. I was in a tournament last week. That's messed up.
Well, in the future, you're going to be doing giveaways like, enter to win. Man, you're gonna lose followers because you never give it.
No, I'm gonna give the cookies. Okay. All right, there's like 4 people.
I guess
4 people
comment the cookies if he hasn't given it yet, and now brownies too, guys.
Oh, that's messed up. Don't they? Brownies. Anyways, was it funny?
Yeah, mine has to. Yeah, funny. That's
I
a
hope
brownie
they
point.
think I'm funny.
Well, it doesn't matter. I think you're funny.
That's messed up. That's messed up. I said that's what's up. That's what's up. Yeah. I hope so. I hope I'm funny.
It's different for each girl, I guess. But the obvious things are like, brownie point. Oh, okay. I guess he has to smell nice. Isn't that a brownie point?
Yeah.
Hygiene.
I mean, brownies smell good.
Exactly.
How about like he could cook?
That's great. Yeah, that's fun.
I feel like it's a brownie point, but it's not necessary.
Yeah.
So okay, let's segregate it. Segregate. That's the wrong word. Let's separate it. Wrong word. What does a brownie point mean? Like, is that like what needs to be there, or like is that like?
I don't think so. I think it's a plus. Yeah. It's a plus.
So what's the plus is? Are those necessary? Is my question then. So gentlemen can't be I don't think that's a brownie point because that's just a necessary
thing. It should be necessary, yeah.
Yeah.
Funny? Man. I feel like somebody in the relationship needs to be funny.
Yo, that's gonna be boring,
else,
bro.
like-
Ain't no laughter. Hello, honey. Welcome home.
Well, unless like
What is this,
puzzles,
vision?
unless like puzzles make them laugh just naturally, you know.
When a puzzle make you laugh.
Because none of them are funny. So exactly. Oh, scary.
Look, a corner
Exactly.
piece. Why would that make you laugh?
That's my point. Is
Okay,
none of
look.
them are funny unless the boring things they do is funny. Not that chess is funny, but it's the first thing I could think of.
I mean, I ain't trying to hate, but if you gotta, I was just saying, oh, that's so messed up. I'm not gonna say what I'm gonna say. All right, fine, whatever.
Say it, but cut it.
Hey, man, if you got a joke book, you not funny, bro.
That's Dominic, my student.
You got a joke book?
He told a bunch of jokes today, and I'm like, no. I asked him, Dominic, how do you know so much jokes? And then he says, Google. And then his classmates were like, oh, you want to be a comedian?
Yo, I used to. Oh man, I shouldn't say this because this is the online, but never mind.
Right.
Whatever. I used to have a roommate. Like, yo, you had a joke book. I was like, yeah, that's how you know you're not funny. What did the chicken say to the egg?
What?
Oh, I don't know. I was making that up. What did the chicken say to the egg?
Did you say egg?
Yeah. Why you bald? Why you? What's cracking?
Yeah.
What's cracking?
That's a good one, yeah. Anyway,
Dude, I should
where were
create a
we?
joke
Okay, how
book.
about your
Imagine if I
turn?
created a joke book and the answers make no sense.
No.
That could work.
Good one.
Another book adventure.
Or how about if they do make sense?
Then that
It's
is
just not
the-
funny. It's just
It's
facts.
just not funny. Yeah. So like, what
Fact
did?
book.
Yeah. So like, what did the dad say to the child?
Hey, son.
Hey, son.
How was your day? Yeah, exactly.
What did the chicken say to the egg? Because.
More. Exactly.
That's a good one. I feel like that's better.
What? Hey, son?
No, just everything. The stupidest joke book. Dude, if that
good one.
exists, somebody comment that. I will buy that and just crack
No,
up the whole
you
time.
make it. I mean, you're an author now. Hey.
Shout out to my book. Shout out to my book. Me versus my friends. I'll put the link down below.
Okay, well, how about you?
Some.
The brownie points. Guys, perspective.
Did we go to red flags first?
We already did that.
We did.
You said a bunch. You said the mind, the soul, spirit.
Oh, right. Wait, what is your red flag?
Red flag?
You didn't give a red flag.
Oh, I was supposed to answer that too?
Yeah, not just me.
Red flag?
Yeah.
If he just like starts screaming at you, that's red flag.
Abusive.
Verbally, physically. I feel like that's I
Like,
give
I feel
him
like
a
there's
lot
a
of
giant
people.
red flag.
A lot of people like girls don't leave.
Girl,
yeah.
ladies, please be careful. I plead with you, ladies. He not worth it. He not.
Another thing I think is a red flag is if a guy is very like
Okay,
forceful.
here's my question. I don't know if somebody could answer this in the comment. Why do girls stay in abusive relationships? What do you think?
Dude. It's
Like, it makes no sense to me. Like, he sucks.
it's that whole
He's abusive. Why are you still there?
the girl probably doesn't think there's anything else
Or they're worth it.
outside of this relationship.
Or they don't think it's any better.
Or that too, yeah.
Like, they think all guys are the same.
They're
You
the
think so?
same, yeah.
Well, I want to tell you, ladies, don't be stuck in an abusive relationship. There's a better guy out there that's not. And I know maybe nowadays it's getting rarer, but you'll find one that's kind, sweet, and doesn't have an ulterior motive. That's not abusive verbally, physically. You can find somebody, yo. Why did I say yo?
I don't know.
So that's the red flag.
Yeah, like another like I was saying is if like they're very forceful even in the beginning of the relationship already. Yeah, like they kind of make you do things that like
You're not comfortable with.
yeah.
Like when they made you eat mac and cheese.
Yeah, but yeah, that
I didn't make her eat mac and cheese. She was like, I don't like mac and cheese. Like, what? Try. Anyways,
red flag.
dang it. Why are we? I'm kidding. Okay, for
Your
me,
turn.
brownie points. Brownie points for ladies. They can hoop. You know what I'm saying?
I cannot
No,
do
I'm just kidding. I'm
that.
just kidding. No,
Hello?
brownie points for ladies. I'm trying to think general, not like what I like. You know what I mean? Like,
I feel like that's what I did with the.
no. So I mean, like, what I like is like, you know, like, oh, petite. You can't really do that. You know what I mean?
It's not really something they could control.
Oh no, he likes smaller
Shrink mode.
girls. No, for me, I think when the girl is she may not be into the things that I'm into, but she's trying. I think it's a big brownie point.
You're just describing me. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
No, for real, that is a big brownie point. Like she likes the Lakers.
Yeah, that actually goes for the girls too.
Yeah, like she knows who Pascal Siakam is. Like, oh, she didn't, but she knows she's a basketball player. Like, that's still pretty huge, you know? Like, I don't have to explain to her. Like, I remember yesterday I was telling her about what happened in the Rams, and I'm just starting to get into football. And I know you're very working just because the Rams won.
Yeah, Rams.
Go Rams.
We've
But,
always loved them.
since day one,
That's
and day
right.
one was yesterday in the Super Bowl.
No,
But like,
yesterday was day 2.
oh, day 2, yeah. I was loving them since Saturday. But like, I remember I was like, oh, dude, it was crazy. Like what happened, you know, because the Bengals,
Bengals.
they had the lead, and I told like, oh, dude, we messed up bad. And she was like, tell me what happened. I was like, it's hard to explain, you know. I don't think you know football that well. And then she was like, try me. And then I explained the whole situation, and she was like, that wasn't hard to explain. And I was like, man, that's what's up. She knows. I was like, so you know what an interception is? Like, I don't know what an interception is.
Don't ask me anything else though, because
I was like, yo, Joe Burrow, man, just tossed a Hail Mary and got a touchdown.
Cooper
and
Cup.
Yo, Cooper Cup. Shout out to Cooper Cup. Cooper Cup, big fan of the show. Should I
Cooper
change it?
Cup. Day 1.
But I think that's a big one. Like, it actually gets me happy that you're wearing sneakers. Even though I buy it for you, but I like it because you're into it.
But now the price has doubled for you. Now you have to buy 2 shoes.
Yes.
Just kidding.
Still worth it. But, she got the kick game, you know what I'm saying? Like, we mentioned shoes, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think that's really cool. So just getting into the things I'm into, you obviously a Laker fan. Like, especially like our championship years, like, 2010 Lakers or 2009 Lakers. Like, I'm not going to tell you, like, Sasha Vujacic. You'd be like, who's that? You know who Sasha Vujacic is. Like, Shannon Brown. Derek Fisher. Pau Gasol. Andrew Bynum, Lamar Odom.
Yes, sir,
and the Black Mamba. Those are cool. And also, like, I think a brownie point is, like, this is something to me that you do that I don't think a lot of that ladies should do more. We're sad about something that we know is not that important. And you're not like, come on. It's not. Like, for example, you're into video games, right? I'm not that much into video games anymore. But let's say I'm sad because, like, I lost. I don't get it. That's stupid. No, you would be like, oh, baby, it's okay. Like, you would console me on the sadness of this video game. Like the MCU, well, she's into the MCU too, though. So, but like, when Tony started, I cried. She cried too. But she was angry. She was freaking angry. She walked out of Avengers Endgame going, that wasn't it, out loud too. I was like, girl. No, I just didn't like it. That wasn't it. I'm like, girl, like, we walking out, there's people around, like, introvert. You're saying it out loud, that's why.
Because I was mad. They killed Tony.
But yeah, like, I think that's cool. Like, with her, she would console. And, like, we know the grand scope of things. It doesn't matter. Like, and I'm glad she did that too. Like, for example, Kobe's last game. I cried during Kobe's last game. And isn't it like, and she was like, it's okay, baby. It's okay. Like, but it's crazy to me because we didn't even know what was going to happen to Kobe.
Yeah.
No, like I cried and she was like, "It's okay, baby. I know, it's okay." And then, of course, when he died, it was bad to me. But I'm glad she did that because there are things that we know it's not that important, but it's cool to just have somebody be like, "Oh, it's okay. I love you. It's okay," like and comfort you over a show you watch and you got sad by it.
Well, I guess that's what being partners is all about.
Yeah.
So
People mean. I don't know why I just got mad at somebody. I was like, I don't even know who. But I think that's a brownie point. Another brownie point is growth. When like a girl's constantly trying, I think that's awesome. Like I'm not seeking, and I said this before too. It's like I'm not seeking.
man, your answers are so much deeper than mine. Mine
Girl,
were just like
I've been podcasting. This is my 4th episode, girl. I know how to talk now.
Okay.
But destination or direction over destination. Like don't seek, like the perfect one. But at least if their direction is there and they're trying to improve, I think that's a good thing.
Yeah,
because there are
there's no one
people that
perfect
think they're
anyway.
well, there are people that do think they're perfect.
Yeah.
And that's why a lot of relationships mess up because there are people, ladies and men, that think they're perfect, so they'll never change. Like, this is just me. I'm never going to change. Well, that's how your relationship is falling apart. Because you don't want to change. You just expect the other person to change when you are not doing any changing yourself. It's got to be a two-way street.
Yeah.
Both people got to change for each other. You know what I mean? That's just what it is. When you just expect people to change, to just them to change for you, you won't be successful. So to me,
I guess it's another thing that we could add with the whole like the advice earlier. So communication, but also selfless. In a relationship, you really have to be selfless.
yeah, I think, and I said this before, that like really it's easier said than done. I get that. But when one cares about the other more than they care about themselves, and the other one cares about the other more than they care about themselves, you have a successful relationship. Like, I truly believe that. Because you're constantly going to improve for each other. You're constantly going to grow for each other. And you're constantly going to be looking out for each other. Like, I feel like that's something we have a problem with. Because we'll be like, where do you want to eat? No, I'll do what you want. No, I'll do what you want. And then we end up starving. No. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, you know what I mean? Like, I think it's simple, but it's also pretty hard.
Here's a fun question. No one turned this in, but I just wanted to ask for the viewers, I guess. Who complicates the whole picking
Oh gosh.
the where we are gonna eat?
It's me. Okay. It's not even her. It's me.
Yeah.
I get that. Because, man, there's a lot of good food out there.
There are.
No, okay.
No, but you know what? I guess it's kind of my fault too because in a way I complicate it because there's certain foods I can't eat. So like, so like it's limited where we could eat, I guess.
Okay, so you get it now.
Yeah.
That's why there are those times where like, what are you craving? I don't know what I'm craving. I know what I'm craving.
Yeah.
It's
But
just
you
not
can't- I
something
can't
we would
say-
eat
yeah.
together.
Yeah.
So, yep, that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is.
You wanna just talk right now and then just think of like more questions? And then
I
you
don't
could
really
just
have a
cut this off.
question. I think, this podcast is there to help people. So for me, I want to help people as much as I can. And I think in the terms of relationship, and I know older couples won't listen to this, but at least the younger couples can. Okay, let me ask you this then. Because you said the words that I like. You said, not because it's me, but to me, you're perfect. Expound on that. Because I feel like a lot of people look for the perfect guy or for the perfect girl, but not for the one perfect for them. That's deep, cuh. That's deep, bro.
Because I feel like when people say perfect, it's more of like an outer thing. You don't really think of
The
the
inner.
person's, like, their heart, like who they are as a person.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
That's true.
I think so. That's kind of like how some girls or guys end up in like these relationships that don't last and are just so terrible because what they thought was perfect, it's just all about outer appearance. And then they come to find out it's like, wow, he's not good at all in the inside, or she's not good at all in the inside.
So it's all like it's more outward.
Yeah, outward.
Yeah.
I think.
And they know how to put up a facade or a
Yeah,
front.
but how long does that last?
That's true.
Yeah.
I mean, I use this as an example, or I use this example of like, with like basketball, you know, I feel like there were people in the NBA, I'm a big NBA fan, that would be considered the perfect basketball player, but now they're not NBA legends. Like, they're not considered a legendary NBA player, but they were considered the perfect basketball player. Why? Because it was the inward thing. Like the outward was all perfect, but if they didn't have the work ethic, the heart, the drive, which is something you can't really see in the outside, they fail as a basketball player. You know, and I talked about Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant wasn't a perfect basketball player. He was 6'6", and that's an average height in the NBA. Like literally, they averaged all the heights together, and 6'6" is the most average height. He wasn't the fastest. He didn't have the highest vertical in his class, and he had small hands. How do I know? I went to an NBA store, it showed Kobe Bryant's hands, and we have the same exact size hands. It's either have humongous hands or he has tiny hands. I'm pretty sure he has smaller hands. He wasn't perfect, but he had the work ethic.
Oh, yeah.
And in his draft class, he wasn't considered, I mean, he was drafted, 13th pick. But in his draft class, he was the greatest player in his draft class. Like by a lot, and he had a really good draft class. But that's how legendary he became. And it had nothing to do with the perfect outside. It had everything to do with the inside. And I think that could be used for this case, is that, a guy, everyone's looking for the perfect outward appearance and everything like that. But the inside, the heart, the drive, or not the drive because this isn't sports, but like, the heart and like the love and the character and the care is something that girls, I think, should look out for more. More, yeah. Yeah, instead of just looking for, oh, he's this height and this, he's funny, even like funny. Like those are all just, those could fade away, I think, and I think that's what ladies need to look out for more, and men need to look out for more. Like, just saying, all that's going to fade away, but yeah, the inside, it's not, that'll grow.
Yep.
Yeah.
Do you consider yourself a,
failed husband?
I guess, I mean, I know we have such a long way to go, but so far, do you consider yourself like a successful husband, I guess?
I do. I know I've failed in anything, in things, and we've talked about that, but I find myself to be a successful husband, and it has nothing to do with longevity. Is because this will determine if I am a successful husband. Are you happy?
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
Then I'm a successful husband.
I guess it says a lot, though I'm still here, yeah.
Are you at peace in your life?
Oh, yeah.
And this is not a knack to your family, but do you think your situation is better in life after marrying me?
Yeah. Yeah.
That took long.
No, because I don't want to hurt like anybody.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was kidding. No,
yeah,
okay,
of
but
course.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and that's what I'm not trying to knock on your family. I'm just saying like if I took you out of your family and your situation is worse, no matter how good your family is, I feel like I failed as a husband. Like what? For me personally,
So yeah, I feel like I'm a successful husband. And just like our message on failure, I failed countless times. I feel like I can't even think of some of them, but I feel like I failed as a husband. But I feel like I'm a successful husband in total. I mean, do you think I'm a successful husband?
I think so, yeah.
That's a hard question to answer because I feel like it's more like what you think of me. Like, am I a successful?
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely. And I know, again, we've only been married for, less than 7 years. But no, he's wonderful. And God forbid anything happens. But so far, no, he's amazing. He's wonderful.
Do you think you're a successful wife?
I don't know. Do you think? What do you think?
Yes.
Yeah? Maybe.
I will give
I
you
don't
other
know.
context. My wife is a very half-empty person, so she's negative.
Maybe.
Especially to herself.
I know I do my best for you all the time.
Then you're a successful wife. We're going to try to do this again. If you guys like it, comment down below. If you have any questions that you want us to ask or answer, comment down below because we'd actually like to do that. Like, we want to explore. I think this right here could help us even grow closer to each other. And if it could help a couple out there, I would love that. I'm all about helping people. I'm all about helping couples. I'm all about helping even young couples grow into a more fruitful couple, And I think, like I said, I don't know. I feel like some people might think we're cocky because I think we do have the perfect relationship.
That.
No, but it's more of like because
Like,
we
I hope
don't
we're
think
not coming off as that.
we're not. It's just that
Because I really don't think like we're anything.
Yeah, but I think our marriage is something. I think our relationship is something because. And I'm not saying this to be cocky. I'm not trying to rub it into people's faces. It's more of like, I want you guys to feel that. Like, it breaks my heart to hear of couples not happy. Like, I am excited to go home to talk to you. I'm excited to talk to you. Every time I see you, it's like, hey, it's like my best friend. We're about to talk. Like, hey, we're going to have a long talk. And by the way, it was so easy for this podcast for us to just talk because we always do this in the car.
Yeah.
We've had deep talks in the car. I feel like most of our topics are in the car. We should have just filmed this in the car.
I told you just have something set up there. 'Cause we always talk.
Yeah, but I mean, for me, it's like, I just want to help. It's not trying to be cocky. Like I said, I think we're perfect because we're not perfect. I know that sounds weird. We're perfect because we're not perfect. But I think you guys get what I'm trying to say by that. I think our couple, this couple is perfect because we know we're not perfect. But we're always striving our best for each other. And
And of course, like most of all, it's, of course, by the grace of God.
yes, especially, yes,
Yeah.
of course.
So-
But it's like, and I love that. And I truly believe in that too, of course. But at the same time, it's like faith without works is dead. You know what I mean? If you have faith in God, but you ain't doing nothing about it, it's dead. It's the whole umbrella illustration. You could pray for it not to rain, but then you walk out with an umbrella. You have no faith on it. You could pray for your marriage to work, but you're not doing something about it. I feel like that's invalid. Like, pray as if it all depends on God, work as if it all depends on you. And yes, pray and grow closer to God. But y'all got to do your part too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, grow closer to God and pray to God. How can I get closer to my wife? But then when your wife is telling you, I like red, remember that mess. Or I like pink. Remember that mess. Remember what she likes, what she dislikes, like just those small things, man, Well, that's our podcast. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this was helpful. I hope this was entertaining. And do you have any plug? Follow you?
No.
Don't follow her.
Don't follow my account, please. Just leave me alone. I'm just kidding.
Follow me on my socials, James Abrot on Instagram, James _Abrot 1030 on Twitter.
follow me there. Subscribe. Please subscribe. If you know of anyone that may be helped with this, send it to them. Promote this, because I love podcasting, and I hope you guys like it too, or like listening to this. And I mean, I would like for this to become a career and a thing where it helps us financially. So I mean, it's gotta grow, yo. Gotta grow this YouTube road to 200. But yeah, I mean, I don't know what else to say. I don't know what else to plug. So in the words of Jerry White, I'm out. What's up, guys? Thank you so much for watching the Failed Podcast. And if you would do me a favor and subscribe to my YouTube channel, follow me on Instagram at James Abrot and on Twitter at James_Abrot1030. Until next time, in the words of Jerry White, I'm out.